Almost 5 years ago, I had one of my life planning conversations with my adopted little brother, Parker. It had been a while since we spoke. He had just completed his first year of undergrad and was now explaining why he chose the school he was attending. He listed the options of schools he initially pursued as a bass player and what he ultimately was looking for in a higher learning music institution. To all of his checkpoints, I said, me too. I'd been more than interested in going back to school for some time after teaching in just about every school environment and condition, good and not so good, that New York could muster up, as well as having pushed myself into the New York indie artist scene as a singer-songwriter and event creator and organizer. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, I will always be a Brooklynite, and I know many of you have your sights set south to New York. I was hungry in a different way than most New Yorkers are known for. I knew that I needed to re-up, to fuel up, be poured into before re-engaging at the next level of networking, art pushing, and reasoning with teenagers on the lyrics of, at that time, Jay Electronica, Fabulous, Ghostface, Lupe, and MF Doom, while discussing the differences between hip-hop and rap. And maybe I just needed a change of scenery. I continued to listen to Parker as he mentioned a school I'd never heard of before in Boston. He raised his chest just a little higher as he spoke of his first year and why he was ever more convinced of his decision. He compared its curriculum to that of schools near and far from it and spoke of top quality teachers. It was this talk and that of tradition and strong foundations that sold it to him earlier and to me at that moment. Intrigued, I got online as soon as possible and Googled NEC. I scrolled down the page reading the search options that were offered. NEC Global? No. New England College? No, that's not it. I thought he said it was all about music. NEC Display Solutions? That's definitely not it. And then I saw it, New England Conservatory. The name alone sounded official. I did a quick wiki and then clicked on the NEC's link and began to comb through the website looking at majors, degree programs, course offerings, faculty, and a picture of Jordan Hall spoke to me. She beckoned me to come a little closer. I tend to be a little impulsive at times, so I dialed the number to a few departments in the summer, completely expecting to talk with at least one someone. Part of why I hadn't returned to school as yet was because I was looking for a curriculum that would allow me to embrace the part of me that was raised on Anglican hymns, oratorios, arias, and salsa. That's another story. But would also allow me to explore the parts of me that totally got into reggae, traditional and folk music, my desire to be a Bollywood vocalist, even though I was singing gospel music and directing youth choirs in church on Sundays. It made sense to me. One of the departments seemed to encapsulate all the sides of me, and it was called Contemporary Improvisation. I heard Parker call it CI. It sounded like a weekly crime investigation TV show. I was excited. I recognized the highly regarded and unique name of the head of its department from the pivotal conversation shared with Parker, and I proceeded to call Henkes Netsky. The phone rang, and an answer machine picked up, of course, and I left a message. At some point, I realized that it really was summer, and I probably shouldn't expect to receive a return call, at least not anytime soon, so I moved on to the next level of the sweeping wind that had taken me up. I had to get to Boston. I just had to feel what the school felt like, what it looked like with my own eyes. I bought 3 bus tickets, one for me, one for my son, and one for my goddaughter. At this point, they just looked at each other and shrugged. They were used to my Dora backpacking movements. I'm not sure if we left the next day or if it was as long as within a week's time. What I do know is that the next day, I received a return call from Hank Snetsky, and we were on the phone for at least 20 minutes. I was pouring out my musical life and dreams to this stranger, and he met me eye to eye in that conversation, offering options, suggestions, and encouragement to apply. And that began my relationship with New England Conservatory. NEC has become a home to me and has now opened up its arms to include my son. I have laughed, cried, reasoned strongly, aka argued, explored new grounds timidly, triumphed bravely, learned, taught, loved, and have experienced so many transformative growing experiences here at NEC. I graduated as part of the class of 2012 and thought it only natural to reapply to become a student again at this place I once heard someone called not exactly college. Every step of this journey, and I must admit there were a few moments I wasn't sure I belonged, hands reached out and walked a few more steps with me. In those moments I wasn't sure I belonged, my teachers heard me out and encouraged me to share the music, culture, and experiences from my background that allowed me to feel welcome at the buffet of musical delights that is NEC, and to help shape this home to include a more diverse student body. As much as NEC is a bedrock of tradition, it recognizes its responsibility to meet a changing world and honor unexplored territories that are the missing pieces to a global puzzle that is the music of the world, which includes all of its uniting and unique elements while leaving space for what it all can lead to it. At NEC, you will have access to so many wonderful opportunities. Opportunities to participate in interdepartmental collaborations such as Mahler remixes, as well as participating in festivals abroad. You may find that you are performing with teachers who are well established in the recording industry and the global music industry, whose residencies allow them to further nourish seeds with refined eyes. You will study with teachers that have spent great portions of their lives living and studying abroad, working with Western and non-Western music. You will take private lessons and master classes with pioneers and trendsetters in contemporary genres and with masters in the traditions. You will walk through hallways and greet deans and a president that will take the time to know you by your name. Today, you enter a new season of your life where your fellow students who come from around the world will become friends sharing languages, learn more than the swears, food, unique wisdom for just the right moments, care packages for late night studies, and more. Friends who will be the iron that sharpens your iron. Friends that won't allow you to half step, and when you feel you can't go just that little bit more, they'll hold your hand until you can stand on your own. Friends who will be your proofreaders, your study buddies, your score checkers, your reharm listeners, your shed partners, the members of the newest idea for a band you have based on that composition you wrote for a homework assignment, your sounding boards, and your chillax mates. Friends who will be your lifelong colleagues, the start of your network and circles, and those who will help you raise the vibration just a little higher around the world as you share that special unspoken thing you'll have just because you are a member of the NEC Fellowship. So, as we begin this next leg of the journey that is called life, I invite you to join me in adding to the legacy that is NEC, knowing that if you so choose, you too will have one of the most rewarding and fulfilling experiences of your life here at New England Conservatory. Welcome.